Hey everybody, I want to talk about the 2018 midterms because that's something that has been on everybody's mind since, Donald Trump won the presidency. It's almost as if when a new president gets elected, everyone suddenly remembers that they have a legislature that does the majority of things. Never mind that, let's get into 2018. The general sentiment expressed is that there is going to be a blue wave, and the interpretations of this have varied. Some have claimed that this is going to be the Democrats able to flip both chambers. Some believe that Republicans are going to increase their lead. Now, I think both of these groups are being a little bit unrealistic, but hey, the further away you get, or the more partisan you get, I should say, not the further away from center, the more likely you are to subscribe to the idea that you are going to be the winner, and a loss has to be a win somehow. However, I mean, there's a small contingent of people, particularly on the left, with some more social democratic leanings, that would, argue that every win somehow has to be a loss, because the Democratic establishment is kind of broken. Not to say I dislike those people, but it's just a tangential acknowledgement of their existence. Anyway, looking at 2018, the Senate is exceptionally brutal for Democrats. I don't see them flipping it, even if they had stellar candidates in all of them. It's just the problem is the geography. There are 11 states with close races. 9 of them have incumbent Democrats. 2 of them, one of them has an incumbent Republican. The other one has a Republican who's retiring, Arizona. And so for the Democrats to flip the Senate, they would need to hold on to all of their seats. Many of them are particularly vulnerable, such as North Dakota, West Virginia, Missouri, Indiana, and to a lesser extent Ohio, and flip both Nevada and Arizona. That would take a monumental effort, and I don't see that happening. Right now, I don't really think the question is whether they can flip the Senate. I think it's possible they flip the Senate, but I'm leaning more in the ballpark of will they even be able to keep their 49 seats, just because of how exceptionally brutal this map is, and how the razor-thin margins behind those states that are there are. I mean, think about Heidi Heitkamp and Claire Murkowski both won by fairly thin margins, and even if they were able to pick up Nevada and Arizona, will they hold on to those and all the others? It's difficult to say, but I think generally the notion that they are definitely going to flip the Senate is off base. I don't see it being a massive Republican blowout either. I think it's within the realm of possibility Republicans pick up seats, but nothing that would really change the current dynamic of the Senate too much. The House is an entirely different story. And what guides us mainly here is going to be history. Historically, the president's party has lost about 22 seats during elections, and Democrats need to pick up 26. In most of the competitive districts that Democrats have a shot to win, 24 of them are ranked toss-up as per 270 to win. And the crystal ball is generally somewhat of an accurate source. They're basing them off of Sabrota's crystal ball. And out of those, they're mostly occupied by Republicans. It's definitely likely that they could flip it. Now, looking at where they're poised right now, they might fall a bit short. So it really comes down to them running decent candidates and actually getting out to vote. So this isn't the easy cake. This isn't the cakewalk for Democrats it's being painted as. But a large House victory is certainly possible, particularly if Trump's approval does have a substantial effect on down-ballot races. And I'm not sure exactly whether or not that will be the case. Even if you're not fond of current polling, I don't think it's reasonable to suggest that his approval is above 50 as of now. And presidents below 50 tend to lose double-digit numbers of seats in midterm House elections. That's just how it's been historically. There's not really any reason to believe that Trump is magically different. Like, he subverted expectations in 2 states in 2016, and apparently, to some people, that means we can just magically ignore any data that we don't like. But right now, as I would say the House is very unrealistic. I think it's still possible, and the Senate is unrealistic. It's still possible, and the House is within the grasp of the Democrats if they can field strong candidates and actually energize their base to vote. Generally speaking, with Democrats, their big issue is that they have trouble getting their base to vote. Like, Democrats do substantially outnumber Republicans in the country. It's just that they have really shitty turnout, particularly in midterm elections. So that is the big question that we're really faced with. What's the turnout going to be like? And that's about it.